Elisheva, what happened here 2 nights ago?
2 nights ago, 1 o'clock in the morning, the children were asleep in their beds, and Noam and I were getting ready to go to sleep also. Suddenly we are getting phone calls from friends telling there are rumors about troops on the way to us. It sounded weird to us. We didn't believe it in the beginning, and we were asking ourselves, should we call people to come and help us? Is it true, or are they coming somewhere else? It's 1 o'clock in the morning. You don't want to call up people for help unless it's really true. But we didn't even get a chance to think it over and decide what to do. After a few minutes, we heard the dogs barking. So I looked out of the window and I saw this black river floating down the road. In the beginning I couldn't see it was people, but then I realized it was the black uniformed policemen. And Noam went outside to ask them, what are they doing here? What do they want from us? I saw that the minute he went outside, they jumped on him and beat him up severely and cuffed his hands and legs, threw him into a police car, and he was arrested. Immediately I locked the door. Now I was thinking in my mind that they were coming to buildings around us, and because last year when they said that they were going to come here, they specifically said they're not going to touch the house. So I was sure that they're not coming to the house. And I decided that I want to wake the children up gently, because we're being surrounded of hundreds of police troops and border police. And I thought I had time to wake them up calmly and explain things to them, and then we'll see what to do. But I didn't even finish thinking it over. They came with hammers and smashed all the glass windows at the same time in all the windows of the house, and entered the house with their black uniform. And this is how my children woke up, terrified. Some of them thought it was a terror attack. My little girl, my 3-year-old little girl, still thinks that Arabs came in and destroyed our house. And no matter what I say to her, that it's soldiers, Jewish soldiers and police, she doesn't believe me. She says it's Arabs. My children were terrified. They were crying. They didn't know what to do with themselves, and I couldn't even hug them and explain to them what was happening. I didn't understand what was happening myself. And they said they started screaming at us, "Get out of the house! We are destroying it. You have 3 seconds to leave. Put your shoes on and leave." We couldn't find the shoes. We couldn't find anything. Some of the kids wanted to go. Some of the kids wanted to stay. And I didn't know what to do. With 9 kids, someone wants this and someone wants that. You don't know what to do. I saw that the little ones were terrified. They needed to go away. On the other hand, my oldest ones decided they were staying, and they didn't want to leave, and I was afraid to leave them to the mercy of the police. I was sure they would beat them up severely like they've done to Noam. So at the end, my 6-year-old and my 8-year-old, escorted by their brother who was 12, found their shoes and went by foot to the near neighborhood, which is called Ramat Mamre, and asked people to help them and take them to their grandparents, my parents, who live near us in Kiryat Arba. I stayed with the babies who were attached to me and cried and wouldn't leave me, and my older kids. We didn't want to leave the house. They didn't want to leave the house, so the police decided to brutally kick us out of the house. instead of just picking us out and taking us away from the house, they just kicked us out of the house. They beat every part of our bodies. All of us have bad bruises. My daughter broke her fingers, and I can't even explain how me and my other children and Noam didn't break any bones, because we have severe bruises on us. I saw, while I was sitting in the house before they took me away, I saw them spilling my whole house contents on the floor. I was naive. I asked them, don't you have any boxes that I can put my stuff in a dignified way? You're destroying even the contents of the house, everything. And they wouldn't even answer me, as if I was nothing for them. And yes, they did. They threw out of the closets. They threw out my clothes, my dishes, the books, the toys. 18 years of life, of life together, they threw on the floor, and they just destroyed the whole house with its contents and everything. I felt like in a pogrom. Those sights of the destroyer and the sights of my children going, asking people to help them find their grandparents because the police is destroying their home, are sights that will never leave me.
What happened after that?
After that, they separated me from my babies, and they arrested me. When they took away my baby, they pulled her arms, and they did it very brutally. And she was crying, and I was very worried, because I didn't know if she was crying just because the fact that they took her away from me, or also because they injured her, because they did not treat her gently as they should a baby 1 year old, and also my 3-year-old. They threw them to one police vehicle, they threw me to the other. We were not together, and in the car that they took me to Gush Etzion police, it was broken in the middle of the way, and we stayed there on the road for almost 2 hours, waiting for them to change the vehicles. While this time, I did not know where my children are, where my babies are, and what is happening. Only after hours, I joined with my little children and the rest of the children. In the beginning, they said we were all arrested, the whole family. And after a few hours, they let us go, keeping my oldest, the one who had broken fingers, and my husband. It goes like this: whoever gets most injured gets arrested, so to cover up what they have done. And they took me in a police vehicle and threw me here on the farm with not even sweaters to keep the children warm. It was very cold. It started to rain, and this is what we saw left from the house. By miracle, I found my car keys, and I put the little girls in the car, and I put on the heating for them, and I just did not know where to go, what to do now. And now we are starting all over again.